Oh yeah, ay. When you need a hand and you don't know why, just know that I'll be there. When the road is long and you feel so tired.
That goes quick. Okay, hopefully I have enough battery. I've only got 20 minutes to do this video anyway, but my name is John Reagan. I'm with E-Powersport.com, and today I want to talk to you about a final summation. This is going to go in the beginning and partly through. I'm looking at the creative ways to put this video together. About the Wagons Hydra. We got the... So let's back up a sec. I want to talk for a second about our relationship with Wagons. We started that when we first started the company, within the first month or two even of starting E-Powersport there. And the CEO and I had quite a few calls and really saw eye to eye on things and in the industry and kind of how to go about things. And I learned a lot from him, and there's a lot of support there. And so when things went south with Coulter, he stepped up and said, "Hey, let me hook you up. Let's get you making your own unit. You can label it how you want. We'll set it up the way you want." And so I was like, "Well, okay, yeah, let's do that." And so the Kunga was born, and we got our first demo of that. We agreed and got it covered and stuff in beginning of February, end of March, mid to end of March, we got the Kunga in, and it was not done well. I mean, it was just basically not done. And we have video, and I'm putting that together, but I was hoping to hold it until I could, get a good unit from, like, hey, maybe that was just a mistake, that's not the norm. And, I talked with them about it, and they said that's not the norm. So we sent it back, and even in going back, it proved one of the big reasons I don't necessarily like shipping these any more than we have to, which is the box got completely ripped up in the front, and it looks like, stuff probably happened to it in shipping back. So the Kunga, our relationship, and so as part of a way to make up for that, the CEO said, "Hey, let me get you a bike. We'll get it out to you ASAP. It's a Hydra, it's a higher end bike. You can sell it and, make some money. And then that way, we can work something out on the price and stuff." And I was like, okay, that sounds great. Send it right out. The sooner you're better. So he sent this out. Well, we're still doing the stuff with the Kunga in the background. And when we received it, I was really excited. I mean, I've got the video, if you probably watched already. But as I've gone over it, I've noticed for a bike that I hear that we would need to sell for $8,200 just to meet our minimum margin versus our cost. I mean, it just doesn't line up. There are a lot of high-end components on here. Like, let's go ahead and take this off before the battery dies. So there are a lot of high-end components on the Hydra. First of all, this is a Diamond DVO E2 shock, as you can see right there. You can all probably read that. It's about $1,000 retail. This DVO Topaz is $500 retail. So, I mean, that's $1,500 right there. This Bafang M620 motor with the battery pack setup is pretty spendy right now. I mean, it runs about $1,200 to $1,400 depending on where you get it. They're, getting easier to come by, but they are, like I said, a little spendy. And then the Archon X1 controller in there goes for anywhere from $800 to $1,000 on its own, as well as an upgrade. So really, you're talking about we'll say $2,200 here in the motor and stuff. Talking another $1,500 up here, so at $3,700. And then when you get into it, there are a lot of nice, really nice pieces like these Magura brakes. They're quad piston hydraulic. We have the Dior XT Shimano. We have the dropper post, right? Obviously, PNW stuff. Yeah. And then the physics seat, which is nice, but I honestly prefer the Cloud 9 seats. They're way comfortable. Even mine that's a sport seat like this, I could ride it for 3 hours before I start getting uncomfortable. This one, it was getting uncomfortable yesterday during the ride already. So a little hard right here, if you know what I mean. And then the frame. So as I got into looking at things on the frame, I noticed that there are a lot of little nicks. And some, you'll see down in here, there seems to be, it keeps turning that off. There are some puckers, some blemishing there. It's on the same side over there. I don't know if you can really see it. A little bit less on that side. And then there's just like staining. Like there's some fingerprinting right here that I've really rubbed and tried to get off, but it won't come off. Which means it's actually stained into the paint. And the Cerakote, as far as I know, shouldn't stain, right? There's no reason that the Cerakote paint job should stain at all. I mean, it's a ceramic epoxy based paint. Yeah, if it's prepped well, it shouldn't be an issue. Some of the other things you notice just on finishing. Oops. Sometimes that razor side button gets me. Let's see here. We're like this hole for the charger. You can see it's kind of rough, a little rough cut here. Not a huge deal, but you know, I like to see it a little smoother. And again, there's just kind of some things that stood out looking at it. The front shock did come up to us damaged, as you can see there. It had a nice big scuff on it. You know, and when you're gonna spend, I mean, they list these on their website at $6,500 starting. So when you're gonna spend $6,500 to I think I priced one of them at $9,500. You really want all those things to be perfect. You want it to be smooth all around. And I'll show you, there's a little trick I have with these microfiber claws for paint jobs that tells you, one, how smooth the surface was and or how smooth the paint job is. And you can feel the roughness right here. And you can see, I already tested this. It's rough right here, rough right here. Those are normal areas, rough right here. Some roughness, there's a rough spot around here too. And that's just finishing work. That's stuff that, you know, I think this one probably didn't get painted as well as it could have been. I think there was probably some rush on this as well. That led it to be more blemishy. There's even, let's see if I can show it to you here. But there's a discoloration here that doesn't show up right now in that light. And you can even feel it right here. It's right here. There's like a spot of paint missing. And so, you know, when it comes to the cosmetics and the overall finish and polish, it definitely needs some work, right? When it comes to the ride and the experience there is great. I mean, the power is great. The acceleration is great. The agility is amazing. Even up at almost 50 miles an hour, felt perfectly solid. Didn't feel wobbly at all. Probably because those carbon fiber rims, which are also, I think, another $1,000 add-on when you get into it, or not add-on, but $1,000 component. So, I mean, it adds up real quick, right? Again, the Magura brakes, those are a few $100 themselves. So, you know, it does add up. But when you start looking at what a customer might look at when they go over it and point things out, like, you know, the blemish on they're going to say this is a scratch and dent, right? There's even a little mark right here. You know, inside there, you can see it. So, and yeah, the fingerprinting and stuff worries me too, because if it's stainable with fingerprint marks like that, whether it's grease or oil, it means this paint probably wasn't sealed completely, or enough to keep it from getting stained by other stuff later. A comparison to that would be our contacts, CTE. You can see there's some grease spots and stuff on these. even some scratches because I've been riding it pretty hard. But that stuff actually rubs off. It rubs out, which is interesting. So we have some nicks there, right, that you can see, but those ones probably won't rub off because that's actually the paint. Ha. So yeah, those are some paint scratches that I put on our demo. But again, when I did the microfiber cloth test, right, on this, it only did it, there we go. I only felt a little bit right here, and you can even kind of see it a little bit in the texturing, and you could feel it with the microfiber. Otherwise, it's pretty smooth all around. You know, I'm not gonna say that this is a T700, which is the quality of the carbon fiber material. I believe this is a T800, which means it's a stronger carbon fiber material. So there is that cost difference there. Really though, I mean, like I said, I'd have to sell this to you for $8,200 to make profit. This one in comparison, I can sell for $2,400, you know, $2,450 and make a profit. So I really like it. It's really nice. Definitely an upgrade. Is it, you know, 2 times the upgrade cost-wise and stuff? I think that's really up to you. I think if that's what you want, okay. If you want something that is, you know, what I would call more than adequate. I mean, I bunny hop and launch on this thing all the time, no problem. Get that. If you are in the market and you want to spend some more and you want to get, you know, something really high-end and nice, competitive with some of the more expensive bikes, but, you know, maybe needs a little finish work here and there, get the Wagons Hydra. You know, it's a good deal for the price.